Good evening and welcome to a special Swiss Borg announcement stream where we're going to talk about today's keynote announcements, some massive changes at Swiss Borg, huge impact for the Borg token, and I know everyone in CC Pro is buzzing for it. Hopefully there's some new members on, some new people that have joined CC Pro in the last few days. We can cover the Borg token price action over the last couple of weeks, which has been exceptional, and what the new changes mean for everyone that holds Borg. We'll also go through some other things that are going on in the market, but the main focus is that Swiss Borg announcement earlier today. Good to see so many people in the chat. Let's see if we can run up the likes. Maybe we'll do a giveaway if we could get to 50 likes. Maybe we'll do some Borg giveaway, see how we get on. I won't be getting out the shisha scope, unfortunately, Vinny. So if you're in CC Pro, obviously we were kind of chatting live when the keynote speech was on, but hopefully there's some people that aren't in CC Pro on the stream tonight, so we'll discuss it. I kind of already know some thoughts on the overall live stream. It was quite a long one, but I think there was a lot to discuss. I think the community in particular has been quite frustrated with the Borg token over the last couple of years, so it was good to really hear some of the background, what's going on with the business. Everything seems very positive, and obviously the token price over the last few weeks is up massively, up 65% in the last month, which given the market conditions, you know, if we move over to Bitcoin, we could see it's been a pretty disastrous last few weeks. So Swiss Borg token is pretty impressive, the performance over that time. As we keep saying on the channel, on the streams, in CC Pro, retail's not arrived. The Swiss Borg token will absolutely fly when this market starts to heat up. New users enter the market, new users onboard to crypto apps, and the best crypto app in the world, in my opinion, is the Swiss Borg app. It's just the easiest to use, slickest branding, easiest interface. So the Borg token will do well in those conditions, but obviously over the last few weeks in the run up to today's keynote, we've seen some nice price action. So we'll just dive in to what the big news is. There was loads of kind of changes. There was a lot of chat, but the main benefit of all the changes is the paid to trade model and the loyalty ranks and the cashback on the Borg token. The buy pressure is coming to the Borg token. Now, in the past, so just to give a bit of background for anyone that's maybe new to crypto, new to the Borg token, one of the real challenges in the past with rewards were that if you staked your Borg, you earned rewards, you basically got Borg paid to you every month for staking. Now, that caused sell pressure because people just got, say, $500 worth of Borg tokens every month, and they just sold it because they were quite happy with their stack of Borg. The new changes create constant buy pressure. They also create that loyalty, and it's such a better mechanism for the token. It's going to do wonders for the token long term. And I also think it benefits the token through dips in the market, bear markets and things like that. So we hopefully don't see that massive correction and then sideways, just boring nothingness. There should constantly be buy pressure on the token. And the number one thing, as always, we know Swiss Borg massively wants to reward the community, the loyal users. So there's a few nice little gestures in there as well, which we will cover. So if we go through it, the loyalty ranks. So the loyalty ranks are all going to change. One of the biggest complaints was that fees were still too high and 12-month lockup was a bit of a pain. If you locked up 100,000 Borg for 12 months, it's really hard to predict where crypto's going to be in 12 months. Do you want to sell? Do you want to take some profit off the table if the token pumps. It's just a bit of a nightmare, 12-month locks. So they've reduced that to 2 weeks. So that's a massive change. So now the lockup is just 2 weeks, and the standard exchange fees are going to be dropping from 1.5% or 1.49% to 0.99%. So 0.5% cheaper just for exchanging on the app. I think that will bring it into line. It also makes it super competitive. And as we know, it's the easiest app in the world to use. So now it's also cheaper as well. So very bullish from the start. With the loyalty ranks, one of the biggest improvements I think that's going to come is you'll see your rank, why you're at that rank. So based on how many tokens, I've actually got an image of it here. So this shows you how many Borg tokens you need to lock at each one. You only have to lock up for 2 weeks, but then you can also see what you need to get to the next level. I think in the past, a lot of their premium tiers, a lot of their different levels were quite vague. Like, nobody really knew why they were a certain tier on the app. There's going to be a lot more clarity to it, and with every single tier you get different benefits, but on top of that you'll be able to earn every 2 weeks, and that'll progress you towards the next tier. So that's a big improvement for me. I think the tiers were problematic in the past. If you're in CC Pro, you know we got a lot of questions, a lot of DMs asking why people qualify for certain things, and it's always to do with their tier, but most people didn't know what tier they were. So big improvement in that. I think, if I'm brutally honest, the main attraction of everything is the paid to trade, the cashback. It's going to cause constant buy pressure on the Borg token, but also you get rewarded for using the app day in, day out. That's going to drive volume through the token. It's going to drive volume through the app. It's going to increase fees. It's going to increase monthly active users. Every single metric should improve because of these changes. So let's talk about what the paid to trade cashback actually does. So basically what it'll do is you'll pay a different fee based on your rank. So the higher the rank in the app, the more Borg you've got locked up, the cheaper the fees for exchanging will be. Every time you make a trade, a portion of the trading fee will be used to buy Borg back, and that portion will depend on what rank you are. I've got an image for it. I'll show you in a second. But the amazing thing is, every single trade on the app, buy or sell, will generate buy pressure on the Borg token. So every time you make a trade, they'll use a portion of it to buy some Borg directly from the market. So whatever the market price is, they'll buy it. And then within 7 days, they'll give you a portion of that fee back in Borg to your locked up account. So the easiest way to understand it is, if you were swapping Bitcoin to USDC, that generates a fee. Part of that fee will go to buying Borg. You'll get that sent to your locked up Borg account within 7 days. At the end of the 2 week lockup period, you can choose to lock up the full amount again, or you can choose to sell a portion, whatever. It doesn't really matter. Most people will probably retain those cashback rewards because then they add towards your tier. So the more you trade on the app, the more cashback you receive. You could quickly proceed through the tiers using your cashback. Obviously, the higher the rank you are, the more cashback you get, which means the less fee you actually pay. And there's quite a good graphic for it here. So standard tier, you get 5% cashback, and a lot of users will fall into that automatically because maybe they don't hold a lot of Borg on the app, or maybe they just don't stake it. But for me, I think this is a no-brainer. As you can see, elite level, you get 90% cashback, and it's also detailed here as well. So elite level, 90% cashback, 80% cashback for platinum, and so on. So the more you stake, the more Borg you hold on the app, the better cashback you receive for all your trades, buying and selling. But this also means that there's constant buy pressure on the Borg token, And there is some other benefits as well. So the thing I like about Swissborg is they care about their community. So they always want to reward the community, especially long-term loyalty. So they want to look after new users. They want to onboard loads of new users. But they also want to look after those that have been there from day one. They want to look after those that have participated in the ICO, been Genesis members, Series A participants. So if you don't know what they are, so Series A was a share offering. I think it was like 2 or 3 years ago. I think it was 2022 actually. So depending on if you fall into one of these cohorts, you'll also get a multiplier as well. So that's just a nice kickback, especially for the Series A participants, because I took part in Series A. I know a lot of people, especially in CC Pro, that took part in it, and a lot of people probably watching the stream took part in the Series A round. And it was in 2022, bear market. We've had such a long, drawn-out cycle that it's nice to get recognised and get a reward for kind of stumping up some cash at a tough time in the market, to be fair, to back your favourite app. So, yeah, so you get different multipliers based on how loyal you've been really to Swissborg over the last 8 years. Now, the reason this is so important is the key thing in crypto in the next bear market, maybe even right now you could argue, is tokens that generate some form of revenue or dividend, if you want to call it that, like TradFi, but some form of payment for actually showing your loyalty and holding the token. There's so many cryptos out there that really you only ever benefit if it pumps. In the day-to-day, you actually don't make any money. If anything, some days you lose money. The Borg token is now going to have constant buy pressure. It's going to give you cash back every single week. And you're going to be able to accumulate different rewards as you climb the tiers. And even without adding to your Borg stack, just by using the app, you're constantly going to accumulate Borg and move up through the tiers. Especially, we're coming into the peak of the bull market. Everyone is going to be hopefully taking some profit. Even those sells generate some buy pressure on the Borg token. So it's not just when you go and buy something, but when you sell, you'll also generate that buy pressure on the Borg token, which is super bullish for me. Now, some of the estimates are $50 million per year in buy pressure on the Borg token alone. Most people that I know, most people that Swissborg have looked into, they look at their trading behaviors, they look at their buying, their holding, their selling. Most people will just hold that Borg, the cash back that they receive every 7 days. Most people won't sell it because it's only going to be small percentages of your fees. So it's not like you're going to get $1,000 unless you're a massive trader on that app. But what it's going to do is it's going to mean that there's lockup pressure on the token. So that means there's supply being locked up. At the same time, there's buy pressure. Anyone that knows anything, one of those things drives price higher. Both combined has a massive flywheel effect on the token. So we're going to see supply reduced because it's going to be locked up, and we're going to see buy pressure all at the same time, which is just a magical combination. It's amazing for token price, and ultimately it also draws people to the app. And I'll come back to that because there's a key reason why in a second. Now, as you can see, it talks more. I can share this article somewhere. I think if you're in the UK, you need a VPN. But to me, this is the number one thing that came out of today's keynote. There's talk of a card coming. I need to get clarity on whether UK users will be applicable for it. There's talk of different changes, alpha updates. People can then get access to alpha deals depending on their tier, things like that. To be honest, I am not really that fussed with anything else. This is a number one focus. This is the main driver. And the reason for that is I'm a big Borg holder, and it's going to drive buy pressure to the Borg token every single day. So For me, that's massive. For me, I think this is going to be a game changer for the token, and it's why we are so bullish on the token. Right, I'm going to take a wee break from my keynote, I suppose, or lecture as it feels, and just dive into the chat and see if there's any questions I can kind of answer as we're going. Dex says the banter and CC Pro. So if you are new to the stream, if you've not followed us before, CC Pro is our private members community. There's a link in the description if you want to join. We're massive Swiss Borg fans, and yeah, we've got a great community. So yeah, check it out. Jamie says, when's Lambo? Well, I think this starts 1st of October. So for me, I think this is going to fuel some buy pressure in the run-up to the start, because people will want to accumulate a certain amount. I'll put it on screen actually right now. You can see here, so, you know, if you've got 3,000 Borg, you might want to get to 10,000 while price is still relatively cheap before that flywheel effect starts. So I think there's going to be quite a FOMO rally over the next 2 weeks. And then the first rewards will start getting distributed in October. I think that's going to be really bullish. So yeah, I think price will start moving up pretty quickly. I'll save my other point for a second. Yeah, Andrew, great question. So if you're close to the next tier, so say you had 55,000 Borg, 5,000 Borg to get to the next tier, I would say it was definitely worthwhile. So you can see why. So you'll get more cash back, which you say you're not a massive trader, but you are going to be taking profits very soon, and you'll get a percentage of that back as cash back when you sell. So I would say definitely try and top up. I also think one thing to bear in mind is this is just speculation, this rally here. So from the 9th of September, we were down at 25 cents. We're now up at 42. So we're up over 60% in the last month. This was people that didn't know what was going on. Once people start to digest the news, people start to actually understand the implications for the token. People hear about it maybe outside of the Swiss Borg system, or people that don't hold the Borg token. I think there's going to be FOMO, and I think the price will start moving really quickly. So yeah, I would definitely try and get to the next tier. Richard says instant mood changer. Richard is got the holiday blues, I believe. Let's see. Yeah, I think, to be fair, I think we could get pretty high. Cyrus says $8 to $10. Obviously, he's super bullish. I definitely think we could do $6. I don't see why we can't get to $6. And one of the reasons that I don't think it's really been discussed is, so because they're going to buy the tokens from the open market, so they're going to use the fees to buy tokens on the open market to pay the cash back. What it's going to do, and I'll scroll down here, is it's going to drive these volume numbers fly. Like the volume on the actual Borg token is going to go absolutely insane. That then causes a ripple effect outside of the Swiss Borg ecosystem. Volume's one of those metrics that people monitor. So, like people that run algorithms, people that monitor volume on the open market, they monitor that for spikes in demand, and that drives more buy pressure from outside the Swiss Borg ecosystem. Because Borg is a DEX only token right now, all the volume is organic. So when people see spikes in the volume and then it's just going to rise all the time, I think that'll drive a lot of FOMO from outside the Swissborg ecosystem, and we'll see even more buy pressure as well. So that's why that's so important, that they're buying it on the open market. They're not buying it from the Swissborg Treasury or OTC. They're actually going and buying market orders. That's super bullish, and it's going to drive volume, and that is going to attract attention from the wider crypto market. Yeah, Lewis, great question. So Lewis is asking if I would lock up all my Borg. It's only 2 weeks, so why not? Like, crypto moves fast, but realistically, within 2 weeks, I don't think it's that big a deal. I think, yeah, I probably would, now that it's 2 weeks. If it's 12 months, again, that's a question. But that's why they've changed it, to make it more accessible, make it more agile for people in an ever-changing market. So yeah, I definitely would be locking up the full amount. Yeah, I think $8 is achievable. I think everybody's underestimating this cycle. I don't know. I'm not sure I recognise your name, Reese, but maybe you're on a lot. But I think everybody's underestimating this cycle. I hear it all the time. This token's not going to get to this price. This token's not going to get to that price. This cycle has much higher prices still to go. That doesn't mean it's got a long time left. It just means that prices are going to appreciate. Swissborg is the #1 crypto app. It's the #1 place to buy and hold crypto in Europe. It can onboard 16 different fiat currencies, and now they've made these changes. Swissborg's just a no-brainer. I think once people fully understand what the changes are going to mean, and by that I mean, like, they're going to stake their Borg, they're going to get their first week's rewards, and they're going to see how quickly they can accumulate Borg. Not to mention, they're going to see the Borg token appreciate in price. There's that famous saying, there's only the best form of marketing in crypto is number go up. Well, the Borg token's up 60% in a month. Meanwhile, crypto is a bit blah. So, you know, if that doubles again, that drives FOMO, that drives hype, and then it just snowballs from there. So yeah, I don't see why $8 would be off the table. I think we're in for a very exciting time with the Borg token. I think they've kind of captured everything with this update. Yeah, George. So yeah, you'll just you'll lock them up, just like you would if you wanted the perks of premium membership or Genesis in the past. You had to lock your tokens up. In the past, it was for 12 months, but now it's just for 2 weeks. So you lock them up, and any fees generated in that time, you'll get paid cash back, and it'll go into your locked up balance. We've got somebody that sold 40% of their Borg at 25p. You obviously can't be in CC Pro, which is a shame, but the link is in description. It's at the top pinned as well. I say it all the time on streams. CC Pro, our private members community, isn't just about making money. It's about not losing money. And if you'd been in CC Pro over the last few weeks, there's not a chance you would have sold your Borg at 25 cents. So yeah, maybe check it out, because it'll save you making some costly errors. Right now, people may be done buying, wait for opportunities to sell. If you're locked up but currently inactive, are there any initial benefits, or would it just be when you start acting again? Well, the benefit is that you're still holding Borg, so you're going to benefit from the price appreciation of Borg. So even if you do nothing, even if you didn't hold Borg on the app, you're still going to get the price appreciation from everybody else trading. The one thing we know about crypto is it's not like stocks and shares and things like that, where people buy and hold for 10 years and do nothing. You've got DCA every week. You've got people buying and selling every single day. You've got people that literally store pounds, dollars, whatever on the app and then move it into different accounts. So there's hundreds and hundreds of fees being generated every single day. And even if you don't get cash back because you maybe hold it on Phantom, you're still going to benefit from the price appreciation of the Borg token. So the instant benefits are the price is going to go up. Yeah, Lewis, there is more benefits for the elite tier. I'm not sure I've actually got it on here. I could try and share it in CC Pro, but basically, I think the elite tier, you get invited to like events, you get early access to new tokens, you get early access to alpha deals and stuff like that. But for me, this is the number one benefit, and that's kind of why we wanted to spend more time on this. If you tuned out the keynote, I think this maybe wasn't highlighted as much as it should have been, because I think this is the number one driver of price, and I think this is what people are looking for. I have this conversation all the time that if you bought certain altcoins in 2022, 2023, you've probably stayed flat for 2 or 3 years. I don't believe many people will want to do that again in the next bear market. They want something that pays them monthly or quarterly for just holding the token. And that's why you're seeing Hyperliquid, World Liberty Fi, even Aster, the new DEX token from CZ, they all are coming out with these revenue models, buybacks, anything to benefit people that just hold the token month on month. And that's basically what Swissborg have done with the Borg token, is even in a bear market, you'll still earn your cash back. Even in the best times, when you're selling, you're taking profit at the top end of the cycle, you're going to end up earning cash back. You're going to earn for being a holder, for staking your tokens. And I think that is an important change that we're seeing in the crypto market, where people are going to be rewarded for holding, and it's going to become more like a dividend payout rather than you hold a token hoping that one day it pumps 5-10x. I think that is great, but I think we're going to move away from that across most of the crypto space. Yeah, I 100% think that. I think the smartest and the most forward-thinking people in crypto right now are planning for the bear market. They're planning for how do they not drop 80%? How do they not see interest in their project, their token, fall off a cliff in a bear market? And the easiest way to do that is just reward people for holding the token. So yeah, I think it softens a bear market, but also it just means that you're still earning something in a bear market rather than just having to kind of endure 2 or 3 years of being down 75 to 90%. I believe, Andrew, that the multiplier affects your cash back. So you get, let me pull it up. Yeah, so you get like 1.3x. So it's basically you get 30% more. But overall, super bullish on the Borg token. I think for me, this is a much needed change to the Borg ecosystem, the Swiss Borg platform. I think as well as it just brings Borg into line with what others are doing in the space. So, for example, Hyperliquid and World Libertyfi, I think they're all chasing this demand for their token. Swiss Borg has a massive community, over 1 million users. They've got 2 billion AUM on the platform. So rather than try and find outside reasons for people to buy the token, they're just going to simply use the community base they've already got to drive the buy pressure to the Borg token and reward the Borg holders, which ultimately, if you look at Swiss Borg community, they're so loyal that this is going to benefit them long term. It's going to benefit the Borg token. It's going to drive more people to the app because they're going to pay attention to the token, and it's just a nice circular economy almost. So I've got a few answers to a couple of questions that came in. So UK users will be able to get the card. So if you haven't already, register interest on the Swiss Borg website. If you register your interest, I think there's a prize up for grabs. But also you just get notifications for when the card's available, how to apply for it, how to get it, etc, etc. The multiplier is on your locked Borg. So I think it was Andrew that asked that. So yeah, so the historical tier, so your multiplier applies to your locked Borg. So you can climb the tiers quite quickly. I think the multiplier is quite a nice touch. It's probably something that nobody really thought of in terms of outside. But where is it? Here. But there's a lot of people that have kind of been around since the ICO, been a Genesis member, and then took part in the Series A participation. So it does make sense to reward those loyal users and give them something a bit extra. So I think it's quite a nice touch outside of just being an elite tier member or whatever they are. Let's have a look and see if there is any other questions. First take profit level, I guess. I think that would depend. I think for me, I think the Borg token will do $6 to $8. In terms of take profit, I think if you're earning decent fees, then you probably want to stake as much as possible and just continuously earn the fees. One of the things that, if you're not in CC Pro, you'll have heard us maybe not talk about on stream as much, but the key to anything in investments is passive income. Pumps are amazing. Pumping 10x on a coin or buying a meme coin that does 100x is amazing, but it's kind of one and done. The key is earning passive income. If you can have several forms of passive income, then you're kind of well set up. And I think this could be that for a lot of people, especially people that do like to trade, they want to buy and sell. One of the things you'll have noticed on the Swiss Borg app, especially if you're not a UK user, is that they've introduced a lot of trading vaults recently. There's loads more alpha deals coming. There's loads of stuff happening on the app which will allow you to trade all the time. So it's not just a case of buying Bitcoin and just sitting on it for 5 years. There's going to be a lot more things going on the app. So I think it will encourage people to trade a little bit more, to be on the app for a bit longer. I think one of the challenges in the past for the Swiss Borg app, in my opinion, is that people use it to maybe store their crypto, but then they move off the app to another sex to then really kind of do their trading. I think what Swissborg's working on and will definitely do is try and capture people and keep them on the app for longer, trading, buying, selling, doing whatever, and that'll drive volume through the Borg token, buy pressure, and of course more people pay attention to the token. The other thing I think everybody ignores is when people are taking profits. So right now the market is the market, right? Bitcoin's fighting with 112k, is what it is. Maybe people aren't feeling that flush because we've got total 2 down here, total 3 not even made a new all-time high. So people aren't feeling great about the market if they're massive altcoin holders. That's going to change very soon, and people are going to rotate profits into things like Borg. So Borg is going to do very well from a rotation point of view in the market. If I had, for example, a big bag of Solana when it goes into price discovery, which I think it will happen in the next few weeks, I would take some of those profits and buy Borg with it, because I know I'm going to benefit from that long term. The other side is if I hold my Solana on Mexi, for example, I might choose to then transfer it to Swissborg, because then when I sell it and take profits, I'm also going to earn cash back from it. So there's loads of different situations where Swissborg's going to really benefit from these changes. And I don't think, or maybe I'm underestimating today's video or stream, I don't think everybody's quite grasped the extent of how this can actually change a crypto user's behavior. If you hold, basically if Swissborg hold a token and you hold it somewhere other than Swissborg, it makes sense for you to send it to Swissborg and hold it there, so that when you take profits, you also earn the cash back, because you won't earn that on the other exchange. Not to mention, your fee's going to be a lot cheaper. So it's going to change the behavior of a lot of people, and I think it's super bullish, to be fair. Let's have a look. So yeah, you might need a VPN if you're in the UK to access the Swissborg website. If you've not got a VPN, I think there's a link in the description. If you've not got a VPN and you're in crypto, get a VPN. I would say that was Crypto 101. So, massive news out of Swissborg today. Keynote happened earlier. I think we've pretty much covered everything. That is the main thing for me. So, there was a lot of chat about users. There was a lot of chat about the market. There was a lot of chat about alt season. There was a lot of broader market discussions. The main thing for me is the paid to trade. I think it's the number one feature. It's going to drive users. It's going to drive Borg price. And it's going to drive FOMO outside of Swissborg to buy and hold the Borg token. Once people start seeing the performance, the volume numbers, the user numbers, I think we're going to see a massive bull run for the Borg token. Alright, just while we've got a bit of time, let's have a quick look around the market and then we'll wrap up. So Bitcoin on the daily still wrestling with this 112k level. We were on stream last night. I think it's just got to be patient. There's a lot of Fed stuff. There's a lot of macro stuff going on in the background right now. BNB still fighting with all-time highs, and gold putting in a huge performance. Once gold tops out, starts trading sideways, that is when we will see Bitcoin play catch up. So right now, gold is stealing the show. What we've seen in the past is gold runs, then Bitcoin and crypto catches up. And this is another thing that I don't think anyone's even spoke about, is Borg and Swissborg have announced all these changes today when the market's dead. Nobody's interested. There's not euphoria in the market. It's the same as Series A. Swissborg build all the time, and they announce before the euphoria, before the peak of the market. And I think this timing, we're going to look back in maybe 4 to 6 weeks and really understand why this timing was key. So Swiss Borg down, the Borg token down 40 cents, in my opinion, is a steal. I think in 6 to 8 weeks it's going to be much, much higher. And a lot of it's to do with just the overall broader market. But it's key that we've got that announcement before the market goes into the crazy, stupid phase where people start getting distracted by the casino of crypto. But this chart is kind of the story. We've seen it in the past when gold goes in these massive rallies. Bitcoin normally goes down sideways. Once it goes into this period here, so once gold goes into this period here, that is when we will see crypto go wild. And I think it's coming soon. I think we'll see gold cool off in the next few weeks, trade sideways, maybe down, and Bitcoin and crypto play catch up. The other thing, Russell 2000 made another all-time high today. Correlation between Russell 2000 and the altcoin market is amazing. That means that the Russell making a new all-time high, we're going to see an altcoin market all-time high very soon. And yeah, everybody should be getting very bullish. Ignore the noise, ignore the bears. This is just short term. Remember, Bitcoin's only down, what are we down? 4%, and everybody's crying like the market's over. We have much, much higher to go. And I think that's why I keep saying that people keep telling me that coins aren't going to hit these numbers that we talk about. This market is going to surprise everyone to the upside very, very soon. Let's see. We have Cyrus in the chat. Welcome. We've also got Swiss Borg on as well. In terms of take profit levels, you need to do what's right for you. It depends what your average buy price is. It depends how long you've held. It depends what your goals are in crypto. If your goal is to make a deposit for a house and you can do that at $1, $2, $3, $5, whatever that is, you've got to do what's right for you. And we speak about that a lot on the channel and in CC Pro. Yeah, you kind of need to have a personal goal for profits. Nobody can really tell you where to take profits. DT, I think you are far too conservative with $2 to $3 this cycle. Double it, I would say, and then yeah, make sure you leave some because I think Borg's going much higher. But like I said before, this could unlock some passive income. So maybe selling and buying back in a bear market isn't necessarily the plan. Maybe it opens up a passive income flow for some people. But yeah, market looking healthy. Swiss Borg, huge keynote today, 60% in a month. Looking pretty healthy as well over the 7 days. I think we've just got started. I think, I keep saying it in the stream, but I think once people actually digest and understand the ramifications of the changes, and then they start understanding why it's so bullish for user numbers, volume numbers, every single metric on the Swiss Borg app will improve because of these changes. We're going to see massive price appreciation. I think we're probably the most bullish on it. I've not seen a lot of other people actually understand how big this is, but I think that will happen in the next few days. I think people are just a bit exhausted by the market, by Bitcoin price, but I think the excitement's going to return in the next couple of weeks to crypto. But we're super bullish. If you're not in CC Pro, the link's in description. Get involved. As we said, we've got a very, very strong community. All tuned in for the keynote today, and we post daily updates, educational information to try and keep you safe, make as much money, but also save you from losing money as well. So just to touch on that, Richard, the liquidity issues are token issues. They're not to do with Swissborg. So if you go to CoinMarketCap, you can see where a token's listed, and you can also see the volume. On a lot of tokens, it will show you the depth. So that basically means if you do a $500 trade, for example, how much the price is going to move. If there's any liquidity issues on the Swissborg app, it's a token issue, not anything to do with Swissborg. Now, with Alvara, the reason the liquidity issues there is because it's the Avalanche pair that's listed, and most of their liquidity is on Ethereum. But I believe that's going to be sorted in the next few weeks as their mainnet rolls out a bit more wider. It's going to solve some of the liquidity issues. So, yeah. But that is all for tonight. Thank you very much for tuning in. Thanks everybody for joining. Huge news from Swissborg. Borg token is going to go to the moon. And yeah, I am buzzing for the next few months. Thanks for tuning in. I will be back with more streams, loads of updates for CC Pro members, and we will keep everybody posted on everything happening in the market. Alright, that's us. Thank you very much. See you soon.